Welcome to the Reconnection Club podcast, the show that helps parents heal troubled relationships with their adult sons and daughters. I'm your host, psychotherapist Tina Gilbertson. Each week, I'll offer you compassion, clarity, and personal development tips designed to help you reconnect, not only with your child, but with yourself. Now let's get started. If your adult child is refusing contact and you're worried about them, but you don't live nearby, you might be thinking about getting on a plane or taking a long drive to see them in person. And if, heaven forbid, but if you know or strongly suspect that your child is thinking about suicide, then their local police department can get there faster than you can. Make sure you have that number. However, if suicide is not an immediate concern, but you're concerned enough or anxious enough that you're considering an unannounced visit, this episode is for you. I'll start by sharing some audio from a past Q&A call. This begins with a question and then goes into my response, and I'll have more to say on the other side, so stay tuned after the recording. My daughter did not ask verbally or in writing for no contact. She simply got upset and cut me off. I have an idea now to fly to the state she lives in, get a hotel room, write her an apology, and drop it off in her mailbox, letting her know that I am at a specific hotel for 2 nights and that she has time to decide if she wants to come and see me. I am available, or call me, I'm available. Do you think this is a good idea? Well, I think it's an intelligent plan. I'll give you that. It's very respectful in its intentions, and I can understand the impulse to go to her because many other parents feel the same way, and they ask themselves always, should I do this? Is this a good idea? And that's the question here today. And depending on who you talk to, you will get different opinions about this. If you talk to adults who felt that their parents never cared enough about them, they'll tell you that this is a wonderful idea because they put themselves in your daughter's shoes and they think, how much would I love it if my mother had come all the way to see me? So they'll think it's a wonderful idea. But if you talk to a parent who has done this, chances are they will be full of warnings for you. I've had one-on-one consultation appointments with a number of different mothers who've tried this with their daughters. So I'll tell you what I think based on my conversations with these folks, and then I'll tell you why I think what I think. I think it is a very big risk that could potentially waste a lot of your time and money. And I have several reasons for thinking this way. First of all, imagine if somebody dropped into your town out of the blue and told you they're staying at a hotel for 2 nights. Even if you unreservedly wanted to see this person, you would have to rearrange your schedule, a schedule that may or may not be easy to change. In fact, for some people, I don't know your daughter's situation, but even if you gave her a week, it might be difficult. Some people's schedules are pretty tight. So that's the first thing. It might not be convenient. Second, it might take weeks, not days, for your daughter to process the letter that you write. She can't necessarily respond in the given time frame of 2 days. Third, decisions about whether and how much to open the door to a parent when you're estranged can be really difficult for adult children. So she might feel pressured and could easily resent that. And fourth, of the 4 mothers and 1 couple who come to mind who showed up on their daughter's doorsteps, 4 of them went away empty-handed, and 3 of them had the door slammed in their faces. Only 1 mom managed to get her daughter to have coffee with her right there on the spot. Now, you are not planning to show up and knock on the door. I realize that. But sometimes just knowing that a parent has come into their neighborhood or to the college campus where they're in school has provoked angry reactions from adult children because they feel that their space is being violated. I've definitely heard of parents getting this feedback. So there are many reasons, in my mind, to be cautious with a plan like this. In your case, you don't have a no-contact request, so it's certainly reasonable for you to reach out with an apology. I would absolutely write that letter. And if she has ever accused you of neglecting her or not caring enough about her or putting your work before her or anything like that, then she might be favorably impressed that you traveled to see her. But it's still an unnecessary risk because you could accomplish the same thing by offering to come and stay in a hotel so that you can talk. So if she were my child, I would probably send the apology letter in the mail and make your offer at the end of a really good and quite brief apology. Make your offer, hey, I will come and I will fly in and I'll stay at this hotel if you'd like to talk. And then I would give her time to marinate in your letter. Depending on how old she is, she might be just enjoying a bit of distance from mom regardless. Not because she doesn't love you, but because she's young and busy and still growing up. So try not to be in a hurry. Write a great apology and then leave the ball in her court. And believe me, I know how hard it is to sit there knowing that one of your most important relationships is not harmonious, is in distress. It's very, very hard to sit on your hands when that's true. I know that. So you'll probably experience anxiety, but don't let the anxiety bully you into doing more than you should to make amends. I would treat any distress that you feel as normal because a certain amount of that is for someone in your situation. But try to tolerate it so that it doesn't dictate your behavior toward your child. And please let us know in the forums inside the Reconnection Club what you decide to do and how it goes.
It's been quite a few years since I recorded that Q&A, and in that time, nothing has changed as far as the risks associated with showing up on the doorstep of an estranged adult child. No one can predict what will happen if you show up and try to engage your child, but based on my meetings with parents who've done it, the risk to the relationship is substantial. Not to mention the risk to you of the shock and anguish of being rejected in person. I don't think parents who do this think that through ahead of time, but the heartbreak of an unexpected face-to-face rejection can be devastating emotionally. And I think that's the biggest risk you take if you show up on their doorstep. When I spoke in the recording about tolerating anxiety instead of acting on it, that's a deceptively simple phrase, tolerate anxiety, for what ends up being, for many of us, a lot of personal work. But it's work that I think is worth the effort. It's so important to be able to sit with anxiety and not let it control our actions that I'm going to make an episode on how to do exactly that. So watch for an episode on how to tolerate anxiety in the next couple of months. In the meantime, remember that you are a loving, lovable, and still growing human being. So please take good care of yourself. Bye for now.
If you've enjoyed this episode of the Reconnection Club podcast, I invite you to check out reconnectionclub.com. The Reconnection Club is for parents at any stage of estrangement from their adult, child, or children. So whether you've just realized there's trouble between you, you've been living with estrangement for years, or you're newly reconciled but still walking on eggshells, the Reconnection Club is your essential resource for information, support, and continued personal growth. With our courses and workshops, expert interviews, monthly Q&A calls, and a friendly, active community, the Reconnection Club is a wonderful place to be for anyone suffering the pain of estrangement from an adult, child, or children. So check it out at reconnectionclub.com.